Like
Yeah.
how? I mean, you kind of talked about it already in like in pieces, but excusing what you said so far, like how did that come about? And I guess what's next?
Man, strength from within. Okay. If we go back to, let's go back to second year. So second year I was ACS president. I've already said, that was going great. I was really being differentiated from the year before me and the president before me, which was great. Like I saw issues in ACS that were about when I was in first year, and I feel like everyone says that, and everyone does it. But I saw
Yeah.
issues that were about in the year before me in ACS, and my thing was cool. I like to problem solve. I like to help people. I get a real kick out of it. Let's go in there and try and solve these problems. And then I'll be honest with you, there was almost an egotistical side of me that was like, right, ACS is finished. I like solving people's problems. I don't want this situation to finish. What am I going to do about it? And then obviously, but that was just almost like a side thought. I already spoke about the whole procrastination thing and what would your dream job be, and the fact that my answer was obviously youth mentorship and helping people like on a professional sense. And I had done like NCS. I don't know if you guys know NCS. Most people know NCS. NCS senior mentorship like the year before, and I really really loved that. And I had like other opportunities to like help people and be in like different leadership positions beforehand. So I would never say I knew the space because I don't know anything now. I'm still a little kid, but like
Yeah.
I knew what my skills were and what I liked to do, and what I liked to do was help people in different ways and be there for people based on where I've been. And so now coming to the end of ACS, one thing I did with ACS was to start to formally create some kind of career initiative thing. I knew that there were certain, and then obviously from my experience being involved in social mobility organizations like SEO London, where recruitment, things like that, I knew that there was like a gap inside the way a lot of existing organizations and individuals were like conducting their services, I guess, to help young people. And the gap that was missing was people didn't encourage other people to be themselves, basically. People didn't encourage other people like, look, you have X, Y, and Z skills. Don't listen to everybody that's telling you have to be a lawyer, or that bankers earn the most amount of money, or doctors do X, Y, and Z. You have X, Y, and Z skills. How about you actually try this career that seems almost logical for you to do, and you don't care about what other people around you tell you? And I feel like that's something that, although it's risky and it doesn't exactly match today's society and what society would tell you have to do, it was something that I felt was almost necessary. So that's why like SFW for me was like an almost no-brainer. There was obviously that egotistical aspect of it, but I genuinely had this passion for like, based on the skills that in fact, there we go. I had a passion based on skills that I had. I wanted to realize it. And then it just so happened the way for me to realize it was to help other people to realize theirs as well. Boom, SFW was born. And so when SFW started, it wasn't meant to be like it was meant to be a nice organization to do, but SFW was the name that I gave a 3-day program. Like a 3-day program idea. I literally went on Canva at the end of my ACS year. This is how you know I was going to miss ACS. I went on the Canva I used for the Canva account I used for ACS. Brought ACS photos to use for the poster. I called it Strength from Within. I like wrote a brief overview of what I think like
company credit card
program to help young people should be. Handed that to a friend. He was like, "Oh man, are we gonna call these guys in?" I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna be those guys." And he was like, "Man, cool, let's do it." And then from there, SFW just started. So SFW, like I said, was meant to be just one 3-day program thing. But then over time, we realized different things like, it would be a good idea to go into schools to pitch. Cool. We didn't really do that many school visits last year. This year we've done like 3 school visits. How many school visits have we done? 3, 4 within 3 schools. Had a couple more planned, but obviously now there's not happening. But with the same schools, but there's not happening. But so then the school visit aspect was added to it. Then we realized we needed some kind of digital promotion because the 3-day program was going to be a year away. Boom. Then we came up with the idea for the YouTube series to help with the YouTube series based on something that like I had seen another friend of mine doing like really, really well. I was like, oh, cool. If we change this, and it like actually, could be effective to our crowd. Oh, this could work. And then we have now the YouTube series, and just over time, different ideas and different aspects to help the organization, to help other individuals in different ways, kind of just were added and were changed. And now, oh my gosh, it's been 2 years. Whoa, 2 years later.
Madness.
Now SFW, like we've done like the first 3-day development program that was really cool. Like using a lot of like personal people that I had met, things like that. We were able to get like people from really big companies in and stuff like that for the program. We've had like mentorship go on with young people. We have 2 WhatsApp group chats where we just like post opportunities on a regular basis, and have done like some CV tips and things like that, and just like provide young people with help where we can. And now we've got plans for the future that are ongoing. So I think that's been like where it started in personal development. For the future, I'll be honest with you. If you're asking me a year ago, I would have given you a straight answer. The straight answer was SFW. SFW
3-day program.
Is going to be. Do you know what I mean? SFW, not just 3-day program, but now SFW is going to be like a vocational, like school teaching, like really, really current skills. That's it. That's what we're trying to do. That's where we're trying to go. Boom. And I think what I've learned, one thing I'll say over the past couple of months that I've learned is like, don't be too quick to think to try and get, number one, don't be too quick to try and get to the end. And number 2, don't assume you understand things that you have no experience in. Like, I'm not going to say that the plan for SFW like has changed, because I haven't had discussion with my team. I don't know what's going to happen next. But the point is like, I know that whatever's coming next, it's going to be something that is not just added for the sake of adding it, but it's added because I know it's going to genuinely add value and it's going to help people. Because what you think will help people in your head and won't help them in real life can be 2 completely different things. But like, I think this is another place where the faith aspect kicks in, because there have been certain aspects of SFW that I've been trying to do. The ones that have worked out have been the ones that have made the most sense, but weren't necessarily the ones that I wanted to do, or that sounded like, I don't know, sounded whatever. But naturally, bit by bit, these things have just been falling into place. And when I look back, I just think, wow, like, there's only one way this happened, and it's not by my strength. And it's been a great experience. But I think for now, SFW, the goal eventually is, I don't know who's listening. The goal for me for SFW is it's going to get, please God, it's going to get bigger, and it's going to be something that I will be able to make the main. This is going to make the main part of my life for me. I know from the past 2 years that the work I've been doing with SFW, the way I've been able to see people develop and form these relationships and stuff like that, like this, it just feels so natural to me. Like, it feels like this is what I was called to do, and I could be completely wrong about that, but that's what I feel right at this very second. So I think for me, the goal for SFW in the future is get it bigger, make more impact, help more people, realize what's best for people and not what's best for me, and just get to a point where this can be, the day-by-day service for me. Because like I said, SFW for me is not only just about helping people, but it's also a way I serve God, and I'm loving it. But I think that's where to leave it for me. But I feel like the key for me is like, and anyone that's looking to start anything, don't just pursue something for the sake of it. Because if you ask anybody from that knew me back in secondary school, there was a clothing company I wanted to start, and I was like, yeah, this thing's gonna be lit. It's gonna make bare monies. I'm gonna be so famous. It was called Jedwar Clothing, fam. It was meant to be lit, and I look back and I'm just like, I'm so happy that didn't work out. Like a part of me is so happy that didn't work out, and because that the reasons that I was trying to get into that were just money, fame, lit name, ego. That's it. But now that's with SFW, bro. Truthfully, but now with SFW, like there's that. This just feels right kind of thing, and I think with whatever venture you're thinking about doing, with whatever it is you're trying to pursue, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it or think twice about doing it, because when it feels right, you'll know, and you'll know that that's what you want to be doing. And I feel like that for me now, maybe not 2 years ago, but definitely now, is what I see with SFW, man. So yeah, I think that's me.
Needed, man. I clocked there's like a similar trend where it's like you kind of start something and we know where it goes, and then something else lands on your lap and you kind of go with it. Like throughout the whole course of this podcast, that things just land and it sticks. It's interesting how like for me as a person as well, I always try and plan things. It's like, look, I'm going to put this video out, see how it goes. I'm going to do 4 hours of work and see how it goes. But it's always the thing that you don't expect to work. Like the video that I've got up that's got the most views on my YouTube channel is the one about how I failed my first year. Like I actually recorded that in like March, but for 3 months I'm like, nah, no one really cares. Like who wants to hear about me failing? Then I eventually put it up. Must have been about August, and then bang, 6,000 views. I'm like, what the hell?
Man, like
this is like 6,000 times more than my every other video I've ever done. And it's like it's nuts how, at least in my experience, I feel like the things that do the best or the things that I enjoy the most have never been the things that I plan, even down to like days out. If I plan to go to cinema, I was like, oh, it's a decent day. But then if I'm like, let me just go outside and play football, it ends up being the best day of summer, and that's what I remember the most.
Do you know what irks me about it as well? It's a society thing. Like, honestly, anyone that's listening, forget about what society tells you should do. Forget like those guys, because it's such a society thing. The way our capitalist economy works, it's you wake up, you're meant to make money, be as digital as you possibly can. If you don't know how to code, you're going to fail in life. Like all these little things are like forcibly instilled in you from a young age. But especially now, when the world is shut down and everyone has to sit in their house and just evaluate their life choices, to be perfectly honest, it's really a time to just be like, well, how much of that stuff that everyone was telling you is important is actually important, and how much do you actually want to listen to now? And you know what I mean? Like, if we just paid a little bit less attention to what everyone else thinks and paid more attention to what we think about ourselves, and if you're obviously if you come from a faith background, what God thinks about you, then like the choices you would make in life would just be different. Would just be different, man. But and then tomorrow, God forbid, we're all gonna get up and go back to capitalist society and try and make money.
Boy,
man.